coming up the middle. Gustafson still on his feet. He takes it all the way in for the touchdown. What a run by Dylan Gustafson, 13 yards.
Welcome back to Westmoreland on the Gridiron here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. It is time to talk with our Week 7 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. He is senior running back, linebacker, and safety, Dylan Gustafson from the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. Dylan with a huge week on the ground last week and nearly helped his team pull a big upset of Woodland Hills. Dylan, thank you so much for taking some time out of your Wednesday to join us.
Thank you for having me.
Dylan, you guys went toe-to-toe with Woodland Hills last week and nearly got that huge upset win. You lost by just 3 points. You know, even though it turned out to be a loss, were you pretty satisfied with how you and your team played in your final game as a Wildcat?
I'd say I was pretty satisfied with how we played. Overall, I thought we put everything we had in it. In that game, it just came down to the 5 plays like Maruka always talks about that the team needs to execute better on.
You had a huge game rushing for 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. What was clicking for you guys on the ground on Friday?
I would say the game plan we had and the gap schemes we ran all practice before the week, and also the front 5 played a huge game for us.
Now, are those guys? Is there a lot of seniors on the front for you guys, or are they underclassmen?
There's 2 underclassmen, 3 seniors.
Okay, so 2 of those guys will be back next year. Now,
yeah.
You mentioned those 5 plays, and you guys seem to really dominate Woodland Hills statistically, but you turned the ball over 3 times, allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown. I mean, do you think that those plays then were ultimately the difference in the game?
Yeah, just like I said, those 5 plays that we need to stop, I thought that's what really changed the game for us.
Now, you nearly pulled 2 big upsets. I mentioned Woodland Hills certainly last week, but you almost beat Upper St. Clair earlier this year. Would you say your team played with really no fear this year when going up against those schools? Even Penn Trafford, I know they kind of took it to you a little bit, but it seemed like you guys just went into those games with no fear.
Yeah, that's what we try to do because every team we play is a little bigger than us, I would say. Their size difference is a lot bigger than we have on our line and through the skill players too. So we just always go into that game knowing that they're bigger than us, but we just got to put everything we got out on the field and hopefully something might happen.
Now, you were supposed to play Uniontown this weekend, but because of COVID, they're not able to play. I'm sure you're pretty bummed not to get that final game, huh?
Yeah, it sucks that we couldn't play that final game, but what can you do with everything that's going on now? Nothing's promised right now.
How are you guys finishing up then the season? It kind of, you were expecting to play a game, and then it kind of ended abruptly. So I know you're having a little get-together at the school in a few days.
Yeah, Friday we're having a wing and pizza party for the whole team because we can't have everyone at the banquet. It's just a senior banquet.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at the games that you played against Upper St. Clair and Woodland Hills, and the wins that you have, over Connellsville this year, you seem like you're playing more competitive against some of the big dogs, so to speak. Do you see Latrobe football starting to rise a little bit?
Yeah, I do see Latrobe football rising because everyone's starting to work more at it, and everyone wants it more than what it's been for the past couple years.
And I'm sure you're hoping that the guys kind of continue what you started this year, right?
Yeah, I think they will. There's a good group coming up for Latrobe.
When you look back on your season individually, are you happy with the things that you were able to accomplish this year?
I mean, a little bit. I just thought I could have did a little more than what I did. Just knowing me, and that'll just stay with me for a while. That knowing I could have did more out there than what I did.
Well, it's always good never to be satisfied, but you did. I mean, you had a really good year, Dylan, so you should be happy with that. Now,
thank you.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of COVID challenges, we talked to guys about what they've kind of went through this season with what the challenges were in terms of battling the COVID deal. What has that been like for you?
Our coaches, they handled it pretty well. We didn't really have no COVID cases on our team, so we never got shut down, but other teams we've played have got shut down because of COVID, and we couldn't play them, like Gateway and South Fayette.
Now, was it challenging for you to go through the protocols in place, like always wearing masks and those types of things, even in school? Has that been a challenge for you? Are you kind of used to it now?
I mean, it was a challenge at first, but it's just like every challenge, it gets easier as you go.
Yeah,
it's just normal now.
Yeah, I think at first I was, it's challenging, but then you kind of get used to it. So
yeah.
When you look back on your Wildcat career, what are some of the things that you'll remember? I mean, it could be a particular game or just in general. What will you remember?
Probably the Plum game last year when I blocked the field goal and returned it for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And then we stopped them at the 1 yard line to win the game. I thought that was pretty awesome.
And I'm sure the Connellsville game this year, you'll remember that, stopping Craggett at the 1 yard line, right?
Yeah, yeah, that'll be cool. That's always cool because he's a real good running back.
He really is, and he played very well against even Penn Trafford for sure.
Yeah.
Talking with Dylan Gustafson, senior for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, our Week 7 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. All right, little quick 6 questions for you, Dylan. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about playing football?
Probably the Friday night games. They're always fun to play. They're always enjoyable, thrilling.
What are your hobbies off the field? What do you like to do away from the field?
Just hanging out with my friends and going golfing on weekends.
Do you have a specific course that you want to give a shout out to? Do you guys go to a lot?
I like playing Glengarry a lot.
I figured you might say that. That's my course too. It's a lot. It's very open, Dylan, because I'm a slicer. I hit the ball in the woods all the time. So
yeah, I am too. So I like it open, so I can find my ball and not lose them 24/7.
Exactly. How about your favorite show on Netflix right now?
Shameless.
That's a good one. I don't know if we can talk a whole lot more about it, but it's a good. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Favorite Blizzard flavor at Dairy Queen? What's your go-to?
Oreo.
Very
Definitely
good choice.
Oreo.
That's mine too. If you won $1 million, what's the first thing that you would buy? What's the first thing you'd do with it?
Invest into the stock market and make more money.
Oh, look at you. You're a gambler, huh? You like to risk it.
Yeah.
I like it. Who has had the biggest influence on you in your life, Dylan?
Probably my mom and my dad. They've been there for me since my whole life, so definitely them too.
How about your college plans? I know that you also participate on the track and field team. What would you like to do in college? Would you like to play football?
I'm not really sure yet. I'd like to play football, but I'm still on the fence which way I want to go yet. Depends what schools talk to me and stuff, so we'll see about that.
Do you know what you'd like to major in?
Probably something in the business field, I'd say.
Okay. Great. Well, Dylan, thank you so much. This was great. I guess I should call you D-Gus, right? That's what Mike Paremka calls you, Mr. Paremka.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate the time you gave us here tonight, and hopefully we can talk again down the road, and good luck the rest of your senior year.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That is Dylan Gustafson, our Week 7 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. We will continue and get set to wrap up Westmoreland on the Gridiron right after these messages on the Westmoreland Sports Network.